So listeners who believe very large drops may happen should keep this in mind. Large drops can happen for a few days, but they are almost always very good opportunities to buy because of the growth tailwinds, earnings growth tailwinds. If anything impacts that engine is when you really start to get worried.
We have Mr. Prateek Agrawal, MD and CEO मोतीलाल ओसवाल. So प्रतीक सर, सबसे पहले तो आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई हो. Congratulations taking over as MD and CEO of Motilal Oswal.
Thank you so much.
Nothing could be better than this, sir. So thank you for taking over and accepting this request on behalf of investor, because मैं भी मोतीलाल में investor हूँ. Almost सभी fund में हूँ सर.
Sure.
And hello, Kshitij, how are you? You are not in India, I guess. Your video is not clear. Yeah. Hello, Shankar sir, कैसे हैं?
I'm traveling, brother, and I'm so happy to see the platform which you have created, and I've not seen, the type of response the way you are getting. Am I audible, Vikas?
Yeah, your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking.
Am I audible, Vikas? Can you hear me? Okay, just wait.
Yeah, maybe you can try from your mobile. In the meantime, I welcome Shankar ji for.
Okay.
First of all, thank you for accepting my request, Shankar ji. And whenever I request, you accept that. So thank you so much. It's honor to have you on our platform.
Sure, real pleasure always, Vikas. And hi, Prateek, how are you?
Good, how are you? Thank you.
I just heard of your appointment. So yeah, fantastic news.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
So Naveen ji abhi hai Prateek sir, ya Naveen ji is going back to the group and apne MC ka charge liya hai? How is it?
He is in the group now.
Okay. So the asset management piece will be handled by you now, right?
Yes.
Okay. We were also expecting Ramdev ji, but somehow we couldn't make it, I think. So nevertheless, so we'll start conversation. So first of all, yeah, Kshitij, you can try now. एक बार आप बात करके देखो, आवाज तो नहीं break हो रही.
Am I audible now? Is it okay?
Yeah, you are audible.
Hello, Shankar sir, Prateek sir. Pleasure
Hi,
both of you. It's an honor to be both of you on this platform.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very happy for Vikas, the way he has shaped up this platform. I think I've been hearing very good views, reviews from various channels, from various partners, the value at which you are doing. Great, man. Very, very well done. And obviously, you have veterans. I think मेरी जरूरत more of a silent listener की है. दो veterans हैं. So I can just share some of the views, but I think we should hear from both of them.
Right. So maybe before I hand over the mic to Kshitij, and Kshitij is I would say is the right person to ask questions. Let me start by asking Prateek sir, maybe if you can share your views on the markets first, and then we'll go to Shankar ji, and then from there Kshitij will take over.
Sure. So few things where we think we differentiate from the street is one, we say if there is a time when valuations could be higher than average, theoretically speaking, it is now. Two things go into valuations. Three, cash flows. If you look at how debt equity is going down, margins are increasing, it means free cash flows are higher. Two, growth. Now, if you look at growth in earnings from 21 onwards, it's been an order higher than what you saw between 97 and 21. Okay, and discount rate. Now, discount rate, the next direction of the interest rate move is down. So I think theoretically speaking, to our mind, valuations should be higher than long period average. So is the first thought. The second thought is that this is time for alpha. Uh, Three reasons. One, alpha versus the larger cap indices. Reason one is growth in mid and small on earnings is higher than the growth in the larger caps. Now, this again is happening for the first time if you look at the period from 2000 till 2024. So 21 to 24 or 20 to 24 is the first period of 4 consecutive years of mid and small earnings growth being an order higher than large caps. Okay, so if you hold the thread that earnings growth is what drives the market, well, mids and smalls for 4 years on the trot have had higher earnings growth. So you get earnings growth tailwind if you take out some monies from large into mid and small. Is the reason one for alpha. Reason two for alpha is if the direction of the economy changes. See, what happens is if the market keeps moving, same spaces keep moving for a long period of time, they get adequately represented in the index. And then outperforming after fees is very difficult. But if the direction of the economy changes, then and you spot the change, so there is an if there, it becomes time for alpha. So 2000 to 2008 was a period of capex driven growth. 8 to 21 was consumption driven growth. 21 onwards is again capex driven. Now we believe it continues. 2000 to 2008 was an 8-year period. Start point very similar. We should see another 5 year of good capex driven growth. So this is second reason for alpha. Third is many new spaces have come up. So just like you had software in early mid 90s, telecom towards the end of it, and so on. Over the past 4-5 years, you got several new spaces, new tech, EMS, etc., which have come up in the market. Since they are new, they are simply not there in the index, and with a very long runway of solid growth. That makes it the third reason for alpha. So is the thought, and lastly, I would say, versus the past, the strength in the market is of a very different order. So the larger caps have been made bulletproof by, pension money is going there, a very large part of the insurance money is going there, and 50% of mutual fund money is targeting that space. But happily, for the first time, what has happened is from the bottom of COVID till now, through SIPs, following the earnings growth trajectory of various parts of the market, the retail customer has chosen to have 50% of his exposures in mids and smalls, which is giving this part a strength which it has never seen before. And here, let me just end by saying, in a high growth market like India, if you get a 5% drop in the market, well, in a quarter, the valuations correct by 10% because earnings are compounding by 4% a quarter. So listeners who believe very large drops may happen should keep this in mind. Large drops can happen for a few days, but they are almost always very good opportunities to buy because of the growth tailwinds, earnings growth tailwinds. If anything impacts that engine is when you really start to get worried. So those are my initial thoughts. Happy to pass it. Yeah.
Thank you, Pratik ji. Great insights. Now coming to Shankar ji. So Shankar ji, you've been investing in global markets and you've also invested in Indian markets. So maybe you can start with your views on the markets first and on Indian markets and then global.
तो प्रतीक ने तो कुछ छोड़ा ही नहीं बोलने के लिए, तो only thing I can say is that I was just sitting and thinking about around the time the election results came out, and I was actually on a holiday at that point, and So on a holiday, you get some more time to think. Although I don't think that much on a holiday about market, but because of that event, one was forced to think. And I was only thinking that bear market आखिर होता है तो क्यों होता है, right? I mean, that's the critical point is why does a bear market happen? Because we all know through history of markets that bull markets are the norm and bear markets are the exception, correct? So it's important to understand why we have bear markets. And broadly speaking, on a very simplified basis, 4-5 ही रीजन होते हैं बेयर मार्केट होने के. तो एक होता है हाई इन्फ्लेशन, दूसरा होता है एक वॉर, थर्ड होता है एक पैंडेमिक टाइप की चीजें, चौथा होता है एनी डोमेस्टिक वेरी लोकलाइज्ड प्रॉब्लम, लेट्स से जैसे कि ग्रीस में हुआ था और लेट्स से टर्की में हुआ था, which has nothing to do with the world, but एक particular country में कोई बहुत बड़ा problem आ गया. And of course, fifth is like a giant bubble itself, like a real estate bubble or a .com bubble or infrastructure sector bubble, which is driven obviously in most cases by either debt or by very cheap money, which is equity. Like venture capital is actually equity money, but it is abundant in certain kinds of frothy times. So the point that I kind of understood was only this, कि अगर 4-5 ही reason हैं world में, and understand this point, and which is something that I've been thinking about a lot, that the organized history of markets is not that long. मोटा 70-80 साल ही हुआ है बाजार को एक existence में आए हुए, right? I mean, आप समझो Great Depression से लेके अभी तक वही मैं तो जानता हूँ मोटा that is the period that we all understand as when stock markets came into common parlance and common culture, and we are market बहुत चला था 1929 में, फिर मंदी आई थी ये वो. In 80-90 years we have got 5 reasons for bear markets, just as I just said. Now the interesting thing is the bear market happens only for the first time based on that reason. Second time उस reason के चलते bear market नहीं होता है. मार्केट को एक नया आपको रीजन देना पड़ेगा बेयर मार्केट होने के लिए. अब टेररिस्ट अटैक, हाँ एक छठा है टेररिस्ट अटैक, जैसे 9/11 हुआ. अब 9/11 के बाद बहुत टेररिस्ट अटैक हुए सारी दुनिया में, कुछ नहीं हुआ मार्केट को, ठीक है. पैंडेमिक हुआ, पैंडेमिक में मैं आपको चैलेंज मारता हूं, आज पैंडेमिक पार्ट 2 हो जाए, कुछ नहीं होगा मार्केट को, कुछ भी नहीं होगा, जीरो. इट विल जस्ट श्रग इट ऑफ इन अ मैटर ऑफ मे बी एज लिटिल एज 1 वीक्स टाइम. इन्फ्लेशन हुआ, पूरी दुनिया में इन्फ्लेशन हुआ, इंडिया में भी हुआ, यूएस में हुआ. क्या हुआ मार्केट? एवरी मार्केट has looked past inflation, is trading at highs. Show me one market which has not done well in the last 12 months since, or 18 months since all these wars have started. We've had multiple wars and simultaneous wars. I don't remember in my living history इतने सारे continuous wars चल रहे थे, लेकिन मार्केट को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. So the point I'm making is that मंदी होने के कारण अपने को देखने पड़ेंगे. अगर वही पुराने घिसे पीटे कारण है तो मंदी नहीं आएगी साहब. Simple as that. I'm very clear in my mind. Unless we find a new reason for a bear market, and the new reason can only be a very big fraud and a giant bubble which is debt-led or cheap money like VC-led, all those 2 reasons I do not see existing right now. But any of the other reasons, inflation has been understood by markets over 80 years of organized market history कि इतना कोई बड़ी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है इन्फ्लेशन की. You sit through inflation, 2, 4, 5, 10 क्वार्टर के बाद वो ऑप्टिकली वो कम हो जाता है बिकॉज ऑफ द बेस इफेक्ट. वो प्राइस कुछ नहीं घटता किसी चीज का कभी भी. 100 रुपए की चीज 200 होगी, 200 कभी 100 नहीं होता साहब. 100 तो छोड़ो, 190 भी नहीं होता. उसका रेट ऑफ चेंज घट जाता है. क्यों? नॉट बिकॉज किसी ने कुछ किया, वो बाय सिंपल अरिथमेटिक एंड स्क्रोलिंग ऑफ द डेटा पॉइंट इट लुक्स ऑप्टिकली दैट की ग्रोथ रेट कम हो गया इन टर्म्स ऑफ द प्राइस इंक्रीज. तो ये सब मार्केट हैज नाउ अंडरस्टूड कि इतना कोई घबराने की बात नहीं है. 5-6 ही विलेंस हैं और उन विलेंस के लिए हमारे पास में एडिक्वेट बुलेट्स हैं, और ना भी मरे तो इतना नहीं कि हमें मार देंगे. तो माय पॉइंट इज दिस, पॉलिटिकल अनसर्टेनिटी इन इंडिया इन पर्टिकुलर appeared to be one such villain, okay, that could spoil the market. But around the election time I was just thinking कि people बोल रहे थे कि बीजेपी loses or goes out and कांग्रेस का market will crash. मैंने किसी को बोला कि मैं चैलेंज मारता हूं मार्केट क्रैश नहीं करेगा. He said why? I said वो कहानी मार्केट देख चुकी है 2004 में. वो कहानी देख चुकी है मार्केट को मालूम है क्रैश हुआ तो लेने का चांस है, तो मार्केट आपको लेने का चांस देगा ही नहीं. मार्केट इज नॉट दैट स्टूपिड कि बोलेगा अच्छा वापस वही पिक्चर को मैं वापस प्ले कर देता हूं साहब, आप लोग सब 10% नीचे जाके ले लेना, कांग्रेस आगे पावर में. कुछ नहीं होने वाला था. मार्केट वुड हैव स्टिल गॉन अप बिकॉज मार्केट हैज सीन दिस विलन इज एक्चुअली नॉट अ विलन. Like inflation is not a villain, terrorist attack is not a villain, pandemic is not a villain. They have very short-term effect, and वो effect भी over time diminishes in value. So what I'm saying is, what is the case for a bear market in the first place? Bull market के case हजारों हम बात कर लेंगे. हमें तो देखना है opposite side of the equation. That let us look at why a bear market or let's say even a minor correction बोलो, bear market तो बहुत extreme point है. Why should that happen? And I do not see anywhere in the world, since you mentioned about Vikas the global markets, if you look at USA, भाई इन्फ्लेशन है क्या नहीं प्रॉब्लम है, लोग कहते हैं डेट टू जीडीपी 120% हो गया, बाजार तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं दिखाता ना. आप जापान देख लीजिए, आप टर्की देख लीजिए, दैट्स बीन वन ऑफ माय मोस्ट सक्सेसफुल ट्रेड इन द लास्ट 2.5 years. मतलब $24 वाला आज $42 हो गया. वहां आप जाओ, प्रॉब्लम ही प्रॉब्लम है. मतलब मैं तो बोलता हूं कि मतलब पता नहीं वहां पर तो क्या सिल्वर लाइनिंग है, और मार्केट इज अप 80%. तो मैं बोल रहा हूं मार्केट्स ओवर एन 80-year हिस्ट्री हैव अंडरस्टूड कि ये जो 5-6 चुनिंदा विलेंस हैं, इनसे कोई बेयर मार्केट क्रिएशन मत करो, या दो एक आध हफ्ते की मंदी करा लो, उतने भर की चीज है. सो द डिफॉल्ट ऑप्शन फॉर मार्केट्स रिमेन बीइंग बुलिश एंड मोर बुलिश. आई डू नॉट सी एनी ऑफ दीज नोन विलेंस कॉजिंग अ बेयर मार्केट. अब कोई छठा सातवां नया विलेन आ जाएगा स्क्रीन पे, गुलशन ग्रोवर टाइप, वो अब देखी जाएगी बात. बट वो प्रेम चोपड़ा और प्राण सब फुल्ली डिस्काउंटेड है साहब, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. सो देयरफॉर इफ दैट इज द एनालिसिस, एक्चुअली दैट इज माय एनालिसिस, देन द रेस्ट ऑफ द वेबिनार इज एक्चुअली स्पीकिंग रिडंडेंट. बिकॉज अगर तेजी है अभी उस पर, आप कोई स्मॉल कैप ले रहा है, कोई एचडीएफसी बैंक ले रहा है, कोई क्या ले रहा है, मोटा मोटा कोई इसमें पैसे खोने वाली बात नहीं. हाँ, हो सकता है आपको पैसे कम बने, दैट कैन बी द ओनली चॉइस हियर कि यार तुमने 3 गुना बना लिया, मैंने 2 गुना बनाया. बट आप -80% हो जाओगे और मैं +200 होगा, वो वाला मार्केट नहीं नजर आता मुझे. दैट्स माय सिंपल पर्सपेक्टिव. All of it which were devised around the election time, and I thought through the whole landscape of markets, and this was my nichod कि यार मंदी के कारण ही नहीं है मेरे को नजर आते नए कारण. And if anybody in this panel can think of a new reason why mandi will happen, then we have a discussion of what something worth discussing.
Great, Shankar ji. Thank you so much. Different perspective altogether. मतलब सरल भाषा में आपने उसको सिंप्लीफाई कर दिया कि छठा विलन है तो लेके आओ, अपन बात करते हैं. So maybe Kshitij, you have 6th or 7th villain, then please bring in. Over to you.
I think it's a very learned discussion from both the sirs, and first of all, just taking Shankar sir discussion forward, I totally agree with him. Every time it has a new name. So 98 में कोई घपला था, 2001 में .com burst हुआ, 2004 वाजपेयी जी losing election, 2006 Asian crisis, 8 global financial crisis, 10 PIGS crisis, 13 overnight interest rate by Subbarao, 15, 16 we have Demon, then 18 we have GST and small and mid cap regulations, 20 global this pandemic, and then Israel and all these wars, which has some little effect. And he's right that maybe it'll have a new name, but yes, underlying businesses will keep on growing. And I think that's a famous joke now, when during Cold World War, American fund manager like Prateek sir or Shankar sir, they reached their trader and they said that please buy PNG, go long on Citibank, American Express, Coke, and the guy started laughing. They are at the verge of nuclear war, and he are asking us to buy all these companies. So the guy, a fund manager, laughed and said, if the nuclear war will happen, what will we do with the money? If it will not happen, people will keep on drinking Coke, they keep on banking it, American Express Bank, they keep on banking it, Citibank. So what will keep on moving in a normal way? So this is what it's all about, equity markets. You invest in a business, you become a shareholder, and that's how you grow. So I agree, sir. With Prateek sir, just the turnaround of all the funds across PMSs and mutual fund, on Motilal side, at Vikas side, it's amazing. As a house, we also very strongly believe that sector rotation is fast. As our attention span on media has gone down, the sector rotation has also become very fast. But just to want to take a clue from you, firstly, on what different you have done after you have come to this on the Motilal chair, and then from Shankar sir, what he's looking at on global space, and when India will start, getting into those sectors which are so liked by global media, global investors, but not in Indian space, like semiconductor chips or cyber security. We don't even have one single company on all this space. So these two questions.
साइबर सिक्योरिटी है, साइबर सिक्योरिटी है यार, मेरे पास शेयर ऐसी बात ना करो यार, एक तो है हमारे पास भी यहाँ पर.
तो सब वो उसी के ऊपर. So first of all, Prateek sir, to you. So what is so different now on the Motilal side? And then to Shankar.
Thanks, Hitesh, for all of those kind words. नहीं देखो, we have come back to our roots. We are a quality and a growth focused house, and like I said in my opening this thing, that growth quotient after 20 has been of an order that we have not seen from 2000 till 20. So everybody, we took time to recognize it. Two dots make a trend. So 21, 22, we are talking 22. We just kept on following the space where the earnings growth lied. So if you look at the period 2008 to 21, large cap index did 5%, mid did 4%, smalls did 2.8%. Earnings growth CAGR, that's all. And large cap index hence was a very difficult index to beat, because you took money out of it into mid and small, you are headwinded on earnings growth. People who generated alpha by going into the highest quality part of the market, read consumers, 12% earnings growth versus 5% for the large cap index, or get into names like MNC names where similar order, higher order of growth was there. The best quality banks like HDFC, Kotak, Bajaj Finance, Finserv. MNCs, these four, Eicher Motor, consumers, all the Asian Paints, Berger kind of names is what drove outperformance here, because the highest quality part coincided with the highest growth part in the marketplace. Now, this was a call, but we said, whether growth makes you money or whether quality makes you money. Start point matters, of course. After 15 years of quality doing well, the valuations were very different versus the start point. And quality, by the way, stayed same. So Lever had similar ROCE before that and after 2008. We said, let's go to what did well in 2000 to 2008 period. In some manner, that period is similar to the present. In mini, it is not. So mids versus large was no different in 2000 to 2008 period, 25, 25.1. It's very different now. And then we said, let us keep focusing on growth and up the growth quotient of our portfolios massively. Okay, we spoke of everything that we thought. Each one of our monthly videos kept on informing the investors about what we have been thinking. So, all the spaces where growth would sustain at 2-3% higher than index levels is what we are as a house focused on, and very, very chiseled out spaces. And there, what we did was to do team-based decision making rather than one person drive it all. That increases the acceptance across the team. So that was one. Second, so just to tell you, today at the house we have 0 consumer staples, high quality, high growth. So we have 0. The commodity businesses, 0 commodities. So whatever performance you are seeing is 0 exposure here, 0 exposure to large cap IT, PSUs, X of defense, nothing. In 3 banks and defense companies, in founders, the returns are without any PSU, 0 PSUs. Okay, and the house did not own a PFC REC. So anybody else who came close with PFC REC, we stayed away. So true to high quality, high growth, we want businesses, where the leader of the business knows where it is going, and it is not driven by externalities. It is more in the control of people running it, and the growth quotient was very high. So, in terms of how we look at it, if you knock off all the spaces which are expected to do less than index growth over a 3 to 5 year kind of a period, what you're left with makes our portfolios, to our mind, the highest growth in EPS portfolios in the country. With the way we measure it versus an index growth expectations of 15-16%, our numbers are like 32%. So a good solid 16-17% growth delta over 2 years, 24 to 26. And then if you look at the valuation gap, on PEG we look cheaper, on P's we are very competitive. Let's say 20 to 30% more. So index today is 20 times 26, we would be 26 times 26, with a growth quotient which is like 16% higher than the index on consensus earnings. So this is what it is now. With performance, some bit of these numbers have worsened. Earlier, when we started out, actually on P's also it was like 17 and 20 kind of a number. Over time, things have gotten, some bit of performance is reflecting in the valuations. But okay, here we did another small maths. Same company, if instead of doing 15% growth in, let's say, free cash flow over 10 years, does 20% over 10 years, and then terminal is all same, the valuation uptake is 26%. Okay, which is like 1% higher growth makes the valuation 5% higher. Now, if you use this number to see where the valuations are of our portfolio versus the index, I think even after assuming 2 to 3 errors, meaning you are able to correct it only after a substantial drawdown, we are built for substantial alphas. So that is what it is. And the other thing that we did was, earlier our portfolios used to be very heavy on a few stocks. So if they worked, we were pulled up in performance. When they stopped working, investors keep coming in. Now, for some investors, the first leg would be very nice, but then you get investors after the heavy weighted spaces may have done their bit, and for them, the outcomes may not be as nice. So we today run very flat portfolios, focused high conviction, but conviction across the portfolio. I think you have heard this before from me. And then we included all growth themes. So what we tell investors was if you want value, that's the other big style, go to somebody else who is a champion of value. Two houses will come to your mind, so go there. If you want growth, we are built for you. You don't need to go anywhere. All growth spaces with the best representatives of those spaces are in the portfolio. So we say, aap humko spinner dalo, pacer dalo, kuch bhi dalo, we will not let a ball go mid-in. Whichever one comes, we need to score our ones and twos. So that need to hit sixes, if you miss a few spaces, then what you have need to perform very strongly for you to outperform. But if you score runs every ball, then the need to hit big in the slog overs is lesser, and performance comes very smoothly. So that is something that we did, and huge focus on processes. So anything not working, a part of the portfolio not working, we want to showcase to the managers. A lot of times, if you make a manager aware that 40% of the portfolio is not working versus the index on 1 month, 3 months, 6 month kind of a number. Is this good? Is there a name which is reflecting there, etc.? Making him aware, asking questions, jisko kehte hain na, out of sight, out of mind, people may just sit on it. We want to have as much money as possible working for the investors. So those are some of the changes in processes that we did, and happily, getting growth orientation high coincided with, let's say, interest rate increases peaking out. So somehow, the performance uptake that you guys have seen is coinciding with that. We say that gives us a lot of strength to say that our best days are probably ahead, and should coincide with when rates start to move down a bit. First bit of rate cuts will impact us negatively, because that is stupid money. All the shorts will get cut. The part which should not perform will perform. And we don't have, like I said, banks. We're very underweight. We don't have IT, large cap. But that is where shorts are also. Maybe that part will perform, and we shall underperform in that period. But after that, as the money finds its way into the marketplace, I think the outperformances would get restored. So that is the thought. So if you guys are focused on growth, we are built for growth. And for every HNI, just look at this. What is the client doing? If you give all the monies to one manager, manager as an anchor, manager as a part which does very well when markets go up. There's a part which defends the portfolio when the market goes down. Now, if you look at clients, they have 10 managers. When you have 10 managers, you have 10 anchors. So client को क्या फायदा हो रहा है? And when a client owns 10 managers, the average outcomes are index or lower post fees. We say have us on the growth side, have somebody else on the value side. As soon as you do that, the anchor falls in between. You don't need to put money there. And you are telling the client कि boss एक ज़माने में एक ही आदमी perform करेगा. Otherwise, when you go for a client review, how do you defend something which has not worked for 6 months to 9 months? आप defend ही नहीं कर सकते. Long term बोल के हम बचते रहते हैं. But there are styles which work in the marketplace, period after period. Your factor analysis will show you that. And all that you now need to do is, sir, growth and momentum typically go together. This is what is working. These guys are doing very well. Value is doing low walls, something. Value is doing well. This part is doing well. Sir, overall, आपका 100 रुपया अच्छा काम कर. We run focused high conviction across the house. All our portfolios are between 20 and 30 names. Clean, minimum 2% weightage, max 6.5%, 7% is the house. So जो मैं बोलता हूँ चवन्नी अठन्नियाँ कहीं नहीं पड़ी हैं. So clean, solid. We're very happy with what we have created, frankly, and keeping the client first.
Absolutely, fully appreciate.
Great, sir. Shankar sir, off to you.
Yeah, Kshitij. You were saying
I was saying, Shankar sir, I asked him also that something that we are 140 crore, and when we'll have all those sectors which are the darling of global markets in India where we can invest, because he tracks the entire global markets and he has that perspective within him. So just need his thoughts on that.
So we are getting there. It's a journey. I mean, remember those sectors, those companies. NVIDIA is not yesterday's company, or Apple is not yesterday's company. Amazon, सब 25-30 साल पुरानी company है. It takes time. Understand a lot of things in an economy like India will happen only because of the size. हम वही सपने 200 बिलियन के जीडीपी पे नहीं कर सकते थे. Even though हमें भी मालूम था कि हमें करना चाहिए. बहुत चीजें मालूम होती हैं साहब. Right? In fact, like I say, wisdom is very commonly available. We know what we should do, but अपने जेब में उतना पैसा और लोगों को अपने में उतनी रुचि भी होनी चाहिए. अब हम 200, 400, 500, 1 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी में कोई बड़ी कंपनी आके इन्वेस्ट नहीं करेगी $50 बिलियन. वो यार तुम्हारा साइज ही नहीं है. तो एक साइज इफेक्ट जो होता है किसी भी इकोनॉमी का बहुत क्रिटिकल पॉइंट होता है इन सब चीजों में. तो अब हमारे पास जो साइज है जीडीपी की, उसके चलते itself is driving momentum of the various kinds of new emerging sectors that you talk about and you are looking at that. Those are the let's say, I'm sure you're talking about NVIDIA because that is the flavor of the last 6 months. आज से साल भर पहले ये था अपना टेस्ला था. So those kinds of things will happen because of size of our own economy. Now we are at the critical mass. World majors are interested in putting money into us. Very few world majors would have put money into us, let's say even as recently as 15 years ago, because size was not adequate enough for them to consider India. And after agar 10 saal baad dekhenge, even better opportunities and more capital will flow in. So those companies will emerge. Those companies will come. Give it time. It's again a journey. And remember, all the names that you mentioned or the sectors you mentioned are not easy sectors to start ground up in new jurisdictions, new countries. These are very complex, complicated technologies. They are not like Asian Paints business. कि यार पेंट तो आप अपने बैकयार्ड में मिला लो, बाकी तो सब नेम और ब्रांडिंग और डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का ही काम है. पेंट तो आपको मतलब ये टाइल बनाने का जारा सेरामिक्स बनाता है, लेकिन वैसे कम से कम साला 1 लाख मैन्युफैक्चरर इंडिया में पड़े हुए इधर उधर धक्के खा रहे होते हैं. तो उसमें कोई हाईटेक कुछ नहीं है. These are very different businesses, completely and totally different businesses, and therefore give it time to fructify. वो दिन भी आएगा जब इस तरह की कंपनियां हमारे यहाँ होंगी एंड अच्छी खासी बनेंगी. एंड आई ऑलवेज लाफ दैट कि कि आप जैसे ताइवान में आप ले लें तो वहां पर इस तरह की कंपनियां आई हैं पिछले समझ लिए 20-25 सालों में. और जैसे EMS तो वहां पर भी है इंडिया में. अब रिसेंटली लास्ट डिक्सन के चलते, एम्बर के चलते आ गए और नाम में मतलब बहुत आ गया. लेकिन वैल्यूएशन मल्टीपल्स का कोई लेना देना ही नहीं है दोनों जगहों का. वहां की सारी कंपनियों को डीलिस्ट करके इंडिया में लिस्ट करना चाहिए, क्योंकि वहां 10-10, 8-8, 12-12 टाइम में ट्रेड करती हैं ये कंपनियां, जिनका 1%, 2% मार्जिन है. इंडिया में 100 के नीचे एक कंपनी ट्रेड नहीं करती, क्योंकि हमारे लिए नयापन है. तो ये तो मैं तो बोल रहा हूं कि मतलब India is the best market for these kinds of esoteric technologies, because ultimately India gives a crazy valuation for anything which is considered high tech. Anything. उनके मल्टीपल्स का frankly speaking कोई मतलब जोड़ तोड़ ही नहीं होता है. आप US के टेक कंपनीज के मल्टीपल देख लीजिए और इंडिया की अपने कंज्यूमर कंपनी जो वेबसाइट बनाई है जैसे नाइका हुआ या पेटीएम हुआ, उनके मल्टीपल आप देख लो, वहां पर सब टीम्स में ट्रेड होते हैं. अच्छी कंपनियां, एप्पल देख लो, फेसबुक देख लो, गूगल देख लो, सब 10, 12, 15, 18 टाइम, यही तो उनके मल्टीपल्स हैं. इंडिया में तो 10-12 टाइम में आपको साला कमोडिटी कंपनियां नहीं मिलती भाई साहब. फॉरगेट अबाउट हाईटेक. तो इंडिया विल गिव यू ग्रेट अपॉर्चुनिटीज ऑफ दिस काइंड, बिकॉज एक दिन ग्लोबल में आएगा कि वहां पर कंपनियों को लिस्ट करना मतलब नहीं है, इंडिया में ही सबको लिस्ट करो भाई.
सो मेरा क्वेश्चन है शंकर जी, चाइना के ऊपर आपका क्या व्यू है, जो वैल्यूएशंस जो उनके डाउन है?
देखिए चाइना, फ्रैंकली चाइनीज को कुछ समझ में नहीं आता, तो हम लोगों को कहाँ समझ में आएगा. बिकॉज मेरे कई दोस्त चाइना के हैं और it's a riddle wrapped in a mystery. So really speaking, nobody knows what goes on. Nobody knows the policies of that one man. अब वो कहने को एक पॉलिट ब्यूरो है, लेकिन वो एक्चुअली इट्स बिकम अ वन मैन शो. एंड जहां भी वन मैन शो हो जाती है कोई इकोनॉमी, आप चाहे टर्की में आप देख ले तो अर्डोगन साहब का था, a fantastic economy was ground to a halt by just whimsical thinking. And same thing has happened in China when Xi Jinping has literally thrown a wrecking ball at the whole tech sector. Because China's whole coming out party was कि हमारे पास भी वो क्षमता है to create rivals to US technology companies. Correct? That was the big calling out, coming out party. और वो कंपनियां जब एक लेवल पे पहुंची तो उनको आपने रूथलेसली काट दिया. अब वो कंपनियों का तो अब मतलब आप देख लीजिए तो मतलब कोई उनको पूछता नहीं है, क्योंकि डर है कि अगर ज्यादा ग्रो करेंगी फिर कोई ना कोई गवर्नमेंट का ये आ जाएगा वहां पर. So China has become really a very badly managed economy in every sense of the word, whether policy making or on the fiscal side itself. I mean, after the 2008 crisis, there was no need to stimulate to the extent that they did. So debt to GDP shot up dramatically in that period. And now it is out of control. They don't have bullets. And by the way, I must at this point add caution to our own growth model, which Pratik mentioned. We have an investment-led growth model. All investment-led growth models end badly, irrespective. We might think we belong to another planet. Lekin the reality is, and I want to stress on this point, that investment-led model में क्या होता है साहब कि वो देखिए इंडिया की अगर आप देखें तो अपनी भी इन्वेस्टमेंट जो 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 2000 लेट्स से 9 क्राइसिस से लेके 14 तक जो था वो इंफ्रा का बहुत बड़ा बूम हुआ था, बिकॉज द गवर्नमेंट वांटेड टू re-stimulate the economy after the crisis. Bank credit was loose. It was given to infrastructure company. Infrastructure बना भी, लेकिन वो कंपनियां बस्ट हो गई बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली सरकार के साथ पैसे टाइम से नहीं आते हैं. We know all the problems in dealing with government as your customer. So now the learning became that infra has to be built by the government, right? Which is why we have seen increase in the government capex. Now that is great news from a stock market perspective, and I'll tell you why. The reason for that is कि सरकार की जो बैलेंस शीट वो एक अंधा कुआं है. वहां पर आप जो ये कैपेक्स 12 लाख करोड़ कर रहे हो, कहां जा रहा है, वो कितना स्पेंड हो रहा है, कितना पैसा गबन हो रहा है, क्या साइफन ऑफ हो रहा है किसका, एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली क्या आरओआई होगा इसका, ये किसी को पता नहीं है साहब. किसी को पता नहीं, सरकार को शायद खुद भी नहीं पता होगा. स्पेंड कर दो, मार्केट लाइफ 12 लाख करोड़, 11 लाख करोड़, अगले साल 15 लाख करोड़, मार्केट को फिगर दिखाओ, मार्केट इज वेरी हैप्पी, बट उसका कोई आरओआई है? उससे होगा क्या? उसकी जो अल्टीमेटली जो डेट का जो स्टॉक ऐड होगा, बिकॉज डेट से अल्टीमेटली फंड करोगे थ्रू डेफिसिट्स, उसका क्या होगा? वो गवर्नमेंट से हम वो सवाल जवाब नहीं कर सकते. वही चीज अगर प्राइवेट सेक्टर करेगी तो क्वार्टरली कॉल पे प्रतीक जैसे लोग आके उनको पूछेंगे, यार तुम्हारा साला बैलेंस शीट फालतू है, तुमने इतना ज्यादा डेट लेके ये लगा दिया, तुम्हारा फ्री कैश फ्लो नेगेटिव हो गया, तुम्हारी आरओआई डूब गई. तो गवर्नमेंट ही ये अंधा कुआं चला सकती है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर स्पेंडिंग का, बिकॉज उसमें कोई जवाबदारी, कोई पूछने, कोई छोड़े हम निर्मला जी से जाके पूछे क्वार्टरली रिजल्ट बताओ जी, आपने कहां पैसे लगाए, उस पर क्या आपका कलेक्शन हुआ, आरओआई क्या है, आप डेट कैसे रीपे करोगे, कोई सवाल जवाब नहीं है. इट्स अ वन वे स्ट्रीट. हमने कह दिया, आपने सुन लिया, देयर इज नो टू वे कम्युनिकेशन. But that is also a bad thing in the long run. In the short run, I have always believed stock market is not a morality play. स्टॉक मार्केट में मोरालिटी की कोई जगह नहीं है. आप कोई कंपनी हो, आप कोई कंट्री हो, आप लोन लेके कुछ करके नंबर दिखाते रहो, स्टॉक चलता रहेगा. वो बेयर मार्केट जब स्टार्ट होगा, चाहे आपकी कंपनी में देश पे, फिर बोलेंगे यार बहुत गलत किया था यार, तुमको साला किसने बोला था इतना जाकर लोन लेने के लिए, या किसने बोला था डेट टू जीडीपी को बढ़ा दो, तुम 50% था 250% कर दिया. आज अमेरिका के सारे हेड फंड वाले बोलते हैं द फेड्स लूज पॉलिसीज क्रिएटेड दिस बबल इन अमेरिका. साले तुम लोग खुद ही तो ये लूज पॉलिसी की पैदाइश हो. तुम लोग की पैदाइश कहां से हुई? इसी लूज पॉलिसी जो ग्रीन स्पैन से स्टार्ट हुआ ये सारा सिलसिला, और अभी तक चल रहा है. और अब जब हो गया प्रॉब्लम, तुमने तो अपने बिलियन और ट्रिलियन कमा लिए, यॉट्स खरीद लिए, अपने कनेक्टिकट में मैंशन बना लिए, फिर कहते नहीं आपने बड़ा गलत किया जी, इतना तो लूज कभी हमें इंटरेस्ट रेट रखना ही नहीं चाहिए था. So the fact is that loose government policy on the investing side, whether fiscal, monetary, whatever it is, ultimately has a bad ending. I only hope our government reels this back and has a soft landing in terms of our capex-led model. Because capex-led model has limits. You cannot keep just putting capex. Because एक दूसरी बात क्या साहब कि एक absorption ही तो होना चाहिए ना capex का. यार आपका अगर बॉडी वेट है 80 किलो, आपकी खाने की शक्ति है 2500 कैलोरी, मैं आपको साला 10,000 कैलोरी रोज देता रहूंगा, तो भाई साहब कुछ दिन तो आप बहुत अच्छे लगने लगोगे, उसके बाद तो आपको मतलब ये तो खराब ही करेगा ना जाके आपको. देयर हैज टू बी ए सर्टेन कैपेसिटी ऑफ द नेशन टू एब्सॉर्ब दिस मच मनी आल्सो. सो वी मस्ट, आई ओनली पुट वन वर्ड ऑफ कॉशन. आई लव any kind of profligate spending. We all love it because we are all products of that at one point or the other. But at some point, as a country, as a person of the country, we must also say कि आप थोड़ा सा बहुत ज्यादा हो गया, आप थोड़ा सा स्लो डाउन कर दो इस चीज को. मार्केट भी एडजस्ट हो जाएगा कि अब गवर्नमेंट की कैपेक्स जो हम बात कर रहे थे साल दर साल ग्रो है, वो नहीं होगा, इतना नहीं हो सकता है. So I just want to sound that not as a word of caution, but more as a thinking that we have seen this movie end badly in many countries. And I do not believe that the same movie played in India will have a very good ending. It will also end badly unless our policy makers are smart enough to slow down the movie and say, no, we will not push debt to GDP dramatically. Because साहब एक बार ये रेशियो खराब होते हैं ना सर, कभी सुधरते तो मैंने नहीं देखा अपनी जिंदगी में. मेरी लिमिटेड सबमिशन ये है.
ठीक बात. So मेरा next question है क्षितिज से. So क्षितिज, you have also now your own PMS. So, can you talk to us about what's happening out there at Complete Circle?
So it's been 2 years, Vikas.
His clients are the happiest. Let me just add. So he has got a great partner. तो जब भी पोर्टफोलियो थोड़ा सा वही चलता है जाके बोलता ऑल इज गुड एंड पीपल
Yeah, और
एक्सेप्ट.
गुरमीत उसके बाद ट्वीट करता है सर. Yeah, over to you, Kshitij.
Yeah.
So no, so thank you, sir. Thank you, and it's a great learning from both of you, seniors from industry. We are very clear. We want to run a portfolio which is very very client centric. और हम लोग जिस पे फोकस कर रहे हैं ना, हम लोग काफी टॉप अप पे फोकस करते हैं. You know, as and when there is an opportunity in the market, we go stagger, and it's a learning from this platform. ये जो दोनों seniors हैं, I've learned a lot from both of them. So we just go very slow while allocating funds. So there is no hosh and posh. अभी सारा in-house client ही है ज़्यादा, distribution है नहीं है. Because it's you who's been spearheading us. But otherwise, it's totally reference and existing clientele only through which we are building this space. We are almost very happy to share with both of them and three of you that we are around 500 crore now in 2 years as total corpus. And obviously there's a lot of support from markets also. So हम अगर उससे कोशिश कर रहे हैं, there is a 5-member research team which is there, and from our side we are trying to get to the right side of business. There is no shortcut as said by Shankar sir and Prateek sir. हम कोई shortcut approach नहीं ले रहे हैं. We are looking at building portfolios. हम कह रहे हैं कैसे हम 10 साल में आपका पैसा जो है वो 4-5 गुना कर सकते हैं. This is what we are looking at, and there is no magic wand. If something has happened in the past, because it is to do with lot to do with markets, but yes, underlying quality of the portfolio is something which we are working, a lot number of days discussion या लड़ाई इस बात पे हो रही होती है क्या नहीं लेना है, क्या लेना है वो तो पता ही है. But so many lucrative ideas day in and day out they keep coming and banging your doors, and that is something which helped us in keeping us apart from any accidents. Having said that, I think there's a lot more learning from our past experience. I worked for Motilal, and I still remember वहाँ books पढ़ने का target होता था प्रतीक से. So I don't know अभी वो targets हैं कि नहीं है, but I still remember that how that quality part is ingrained within us, that you have to work on that quality side. And I think between me and Gurmeet, we are very clear. We want to make a good franchise, and without any pressure on mind that we want this much of corpus or that much of corpus. We want expertise within our team, and that's what we keep adding various people on the research side. We really want to work on the manufacturing side. You'll be laughing at it because there is no salesperson. It's me and Gurmeet only on the asset management side who are working on it. And whenever there is an opportunity, we keep adding on the research side, wherein we can add and get into the right side of stocks in the portfolio. So almost 300 plus family accounts in terms of PMS accounts, and we are trying to do our bit. Performance is not something which I would like to talk here because we are doing a good job, and then markets have been very helpful. So God is very kind, and idea is to now go and establish some B2B types in the market, and that is what we are looking at. But yes, the innovation part, which is the crux or core of the investment philosophy, which is working out very well for us. We are looking at businesses which are innovating, and that is working very well for us. And it's a good mix of your core and little bit of 10-15% tactical portfolio. Wherever there is an opportunity, we keep on buying. And I think PMS, it's not that three of us are from PMS background. PMS as an investment platform is catching up very, very fast, very fast. Many people have often realized that buying a direct stocks is not their cup of tea. It's better to have a portfolio manager for that, and PMS is the right platform where you can have the right feel of owning your own stocks also, and going through the right way of doing things also. We keep on analyzing a lot of portfolios because existing portfolios where we have seen that people have stocks but they are not able to beat markets also. So I think the stock transfer is another working out very well for portfolio managers like us. So that's overall where we stand and how we are doing.
Right. No, so प्रतीक एंड क्षितिज, मैं आपसे बोल रहा था, मैं शंकर जी से दुबई में मिला और मैं इनको बोल के थक गया कि सर आप अपना लाइसेंस लो. अभी इन्वेस्टर बोलते हैं कि हमको आपके शंकर जी के पोर्टफोलियो में पैसा डालना है. अभी ये लाइसेंस नहीं ले रहे हैं सर. अभी क्या बोले प्रतीक सर, ओवर टू यू.
नहीं, so PMS is a more difficult one आपको एस्टेब्लिशमेंट लगानी पड़ती है, फीट ऑन द ग्राउंड ज्यादा होते हैं. AIF ओपन एंडेड इज द इंस्ट्रूमेंट ऑफ चॉइस. वो everything can be outsourced. What the house has to put is a 10 crore kind of thing. So anybody who moves out of a mutual fund platform, we have seen take the AIF route, which is way more easier versus the PMS route. PMS में backend can be very difficult. और
नहीं, कुछ डिफिकल्ट नहीं है यार. हम लोग 35 साल से हैं, इसमें कुछ भी डिफिकल्ट नहीं है. डिफिकल्ट सिर्फ एक ही चीज है कि आधे % में काम क्यों करना अगर इतनी बड़ी तेजी है जहां 500% कमा सकते हैं. सिंपल बात यही है बॉस. इन लॉन्ग स्टोरी शॉर्ट, तो हमने अपने लाइफ के पाई चार्ट को देखा. हमने कहा यार अब ये 30 साल से क्लाइंटों का बिजनेस कर करके अल्टीमेटली अगर मैं ही सिर्फ अगर क्लाइंट बनूं अपने पीएमएस का, तो उसमें क्या दिक्कत है भाई? रूल्स तो वही रहेंगे, पैसे बना के देने इररिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ मार्केट. एक्सपेक्टेशन हमारी हमेशा इररेशनल रहेगी कि यार साला बाजार अगर 15% है तो हमें तो 25% कमाना है. तो सारी इररेशनैलिटी अगर मेरे में है तो मैं ही क्लाइंट बन जाऊं ना, मैं दूसरे के पास क्यों जाऊं? तो विकास ने कहा, ही इज वेरी राइट. तो मैंने कहा बिल्कुल हम करते हैं और कर रहा हूं, लेकिन क्लाइंट सिर्फ एक है सर, अनफॉर्चुनेटली. तो अभी वो भी but the fact is the client is demanding, the client is very well informed and he asks a lot of questions of the fund manager, and it's a good debate that I have internally with myself. So I see no difference, frankly speaking. The processes, systems, everything remains the same. But I only say this is a fantastic time if you have been around a long time, as all of us have been, to actually and you have the necessary capital to manage your own money. So we are spoiled for choice. जैसे मैं कहता हूँ दुबई में रहने के आपको अपार्टमेंट भी मिल जाता है, विला भी मिल जाता है, बीच हाउस भी मिल जाता है, डेजर्ट के अंदर रहने का मिल जाता है. तो इन इंडिया इन्वेस्टिंग में कमाने के आपके पास बहुत तरीके हैं. अपना भी प्रॉप भी कर लो, आप दोनों भी कर लो, आप सिर्फ AIF कर लो, PMS कर लो, AMC कर लो. you are spoiled for choice. आपको क्या करना है? अगर स्किल है, आप उस स्किल को आप बहुत जगह डाल सकते हो, एक जगह डाल सकते हो. मैंने वो चॉइस लिया बिकॉज अब इस उम्र में मुझे दूसरों को जाके दूसरों के साथ बिजनेस करके कमाने में वो रुचि नहीं है. और फ्रैंकली स्पीकिंग आज की डेट में टू मेक forget about 15%, 20%, to make 30, 40, 50% compounded, irrespective of what the market is, given the size and scale of India, I do not think on a private portfolio it is that difficult. It is that difficult because इतनी vast multitude of choice है इंडिया में आज की डेट में कंपनियों की कि we are spoiled for choice literally. Sector as Kshitij, as Prateek said, the sector after sector which have emerged in the last 3-4 years and they will keep emerging. So कोई problem नहीं है sir to make like literally 50% more than market returns, provided of course you have all the other necessary tools like risk management. ये वो जो दूसरे के लिए करते थे वो आज भी अपने लिए करते हैं. So yes, but that the fact is that कि election day पे मैं holiday कर सकता हूँ, otherwise तो नहीं कर सकता ना साहब.
तो मेरा क्वेश्चन है, दो क्वेश्चन है. एक प्रतीक सर से कि प्रतीक जी ये दुबई में तो पहले ये चालू हो गया था कि फ्री जोन्स वगैरह चालू हो गया था. इंडिया में भी चालू हुआ है और ये गिफ्ट सिटी पे भी काफी फोकस है. तो मैं आप दोनों का व्यू उस पे चाहूंगा कि गिफ्ट सिटी के थ्रू आपका क्या व्यू है, क्या आगे क्या कितना फंड्स आ सकता है, कैसे आता है? और डू यू प्रतीक जी एंड देन आई विल कम टू.
So Gift City has a few advantages. There the rules have been tweaked to enable domestic guys to market internationally. So जैसे domestic में we are not allowed to do any affronting. Gift City में that is allowed because very clearly the competition is less from other peers in India. Competition is versus the practices that happen globally. So why not give one manner of rewarding distribution? Second, people who are offshore want to have their monies in dollar. अब सबके logic नहीं होता है क्योंकि ultimately it converts into INR. But in terms of legality, if the money's color stays green, green for dollar, they are way more peaceful. So, frankly speaking, people offshore would love offshore jurisdiction much more than an Indian jurisdiction. But if Indian jurisdiction has certain advantages over offshore jurisdiction and the color of money stays the same, I think Gift City has a good future. We have ourselves launched a vehicle, and अच्छा वहाँ पे एक और advantage है. So if you had a pooling vehicle in Mauritius, the max Indian money that you could have, Indian NRI PIO money that you could have was just 50%. The rest of it had to be from other people. But on Gift City, that regulation has relaxed. Technically, you can have a whole vehicle built of Indians. So scalability of a gift vehicle for a India-centric player like ourselves and many others is higher than a vehicle in Singapore or Mauritius or any other jurisdiction globally. So scalability, we believe we should have. We launched one. In 2 weeks, we have like 10 million, 12 million kind of monies, which I thought is a good start. Compare this with the Mauritius vehicle that we had, where just because you hit that 50% number, you can't accept any money. तो वो हमारी बहुत टाइम से लैंग्वेज कर रही है 25-30 मिलियन पे. So scalability of a gift one is good. So that's a good initiative.
मेरा क्वेश्चन है नेक्स्ट शंकर जी से, क्या ये लग रहा है आपको ये जो एनआरआईज हैं सर वो इंडिया में पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहेंगे गिफ्ट सिटी के थ्रू?
मुझे I have a little different perspective on that. And I'm not saying it's 0 or 100. My view is, given the level of disclosure that Gift City or the Indian sort of tax authorities want, अभी आया था कि पैन कार्ड दो या क्या दो, those things are a big no-no for overseas Indians investing in India. I can tell you that, and I know many people in Dubai who do not want to. आप वहां पर जितना मर्जी facility दे दो in Gift City, they don't want to do all these things because the security of money in their head is not high. कि यार ये तो इंडिया में मेरा पैसा चला गया ना, अब कल को वहां एनफोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट ने जब्त कर लिया, इनकम टैक्स ने कुछ केस बना के कर लिया, मैंने सारे डिटेल दिए हुए हैं, तो मैं तो फंस जाऊंगा. मॉरिशियस है, सिंगापुर है और केमन है, वहां पर तो कोई इंडियन इनकम टैक्स, इंडियन ईडी का कोई लेना देना नहीं है. एंड दिस इज अ सिग्निफिकेंट रिस्क दैट सी अगर कैल्पर्स कर रहा है वो शायद वो कर सकता है, आरडीआई कर सकता है, उनके लिए बात अलग है. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट एचएनआई, यूएचएनआई मनी. They might put something, but I still believe, given that ये हिंदुस्तान है, हिंदुस्तान I believe is lawful up to a point only. After that becomes totally lawless in terms of the revenue authorities and all these agencies and enforcement agencies. वो irrationality पे भी चले जाते हैं. Very good case was the Vodafone tax matter that we have seen. It started out as an absurdity. It should not have been taxed because it was an overseas transaction. It was forced into tax. Then the company went and litigated all the way to Supreme Court. It ended up winning it, and then retrospectively the tax was imposed by changing the law. तो अब इंडिया में इस तरह के हॉरर स्टोरीज हमने देखे हैं on taxation. Same was with ITC in the 80s on the excise front. So to trust Indian revenue agencies and authorities to do the right thing, at least most Indians know you should not, and most NRIs definitely will not do that. So my only concern here is, Gift City is a great idea, but till people feel secure that this is actually literally walled away from Indian laws and regulations in letter and spirit both, the big money of UHNI or family offices will not flow in, or at least not to that extent as we want it to. That is my understanding based on whatever I meet.
Maybe at a nation stage, so maybe I think it will settle down. What do you say?
नहीं देखिए विकास, I mean we wanted to succeed. It is a very good thing that, and I, by the way, I mean from the 90s, I have written articles in paper saying that we have exported our capital markets, we exported our financial centers to elsewhere. Why could we not have done it in India? Finally, we have made it. But we also then need to mentally also make it. अगर mentally आप इसको इंडिया के ही एक हिस्सा समझोगे तो फिर बात ये चलेगी नहीं बात. इसको फिर truly offshore बनाओ इसको आप. In every sense, letter, spirit, अपने soul में कि offshore है बॉस. यहाँ मेरे income tax का रेड नहीं हो सकता. यहाँ मेरे एनफोर्समेंट अपने डायरेक्टर के ऑफिसर घुस के सारे रिकॉर्ड पुल नहीं कर सकते किसी फंड मैनेजर के. दिखा भाई किसके किसके तेरे पास में है. ये फियर है और ये इंडिया है. और मैं आपको एक चीज और कहता हूं, कल को अगर ये लोग पहुंच गए, रिकॉर्ड ले लिया और जिसका भी रिकॉर्ड किया, कैन ही गो टू कोर्ट एंड से कि यार ये तो ऑफशोर था, आपने कैसे लिया. अब कौन सा जज ये समझेगा बैठ के इंडिया में कि ऑफशोर का मतलब, वो कहेगा इंडिया में तो है ना यार, गुजरात में ही तो है, ऑफशोर कैसे हो गया. अब कोई जज 50,000 लाख रुपया कमाने वाला जज आप समझोगे, उसको समझा दोगे आप कि यार ये ऑफशोर क्या होता है जी, ऑनशोर क्या होता है, किसी का बस का नहीं है सब चीज समझना. तो that's what the short point, I wanted to succeed, but this is a very big roadblock. And अभी भी उनका कुछ आया था, I think Pratik will know it better, कि ये disclosure करो. अब I don't understand what's the purpose of all this. उसका क्या meaning है? Why do you need all these details?
Exactly.
You see?
Yeah, Kshitij, you were also planning to take license for AIF. So, any thought quickly on that? You are on mute, Kshitij.
So, sorry, Vikas.
You were also planning to take license.
Yeah.
So
I
for AIF, over to you.
To some extent, I echo with what both of sirs are saying. But let me tell you one thing which we realized, that a lot of non-Indians, they're looking at coming to India, and all thanks to last 10 years of good governance, and there the GIFT City route is being very, very lucrative. And we are getting a lot of queries from many Emiratis. We met a couple of them. Because as a FPI, you have to, license fees is very high if you want to come as a true investor. But if you're coming with, let's say, 2-3 million and $4-5 million dollar amount of money, it's a beautiful route where you can participate in this, in this story called India. There, I think you'll see a lot of non-Indians participating through this platform, and you might have traction building up from the money which was going through Mauritius route, which is coming to, Gandhinagar. This is what I see, that eventually this will gain a lot of traction over a period of time.
Okay. Maybe my last question, I'll start with Kshitij only first, then move to Pratik sir and then Shankarji. Kshitij, bond investing is shaping up big time in India. So what are your views on that? Over to you, Kshitij.
The quant you are saying?
Yeah, quant investing. Quantitative.
So because वो कहावत है ना कि मुद्दा ये नहीं है कि ठेके में शराब कितनी है, मसला ये है कि आपकी पीने की कैपेसिटी कितनी है. There is enough food, enough space for all type of investment avenues in India. We as a country only 9.5 crore unique demat accounts, 4.5 crore unique mutual fund folios, and 55 crore unique PAN card linked to Aadhaar. So that percentage should be around 35-40%. Where I'm coming from, in next 2-3 years time, you will see 30-35 crore unique demat accounts. So this will go multi-fold. And from 2,500 per capita GDP to 5,000 per capita GDP in next 5-6 years time, you have so much of money coming your way for investment. So I see that although we are someone who propagate a growth investing only, but you'll see there is enough space for quantitative models also, and that is what we have seen over a period of time has started catching up. Not much of a knowledge on that field, but as we grow in the system, you'll see lot of demand for this field will grow.
Okay, so Pratik sir and then Shankar sir, your views on quant investing?
No, definitely it has a great future. We ourselves have a quant team. We have a quant fund where actually, I rub my eyes, but the performance is better than anything that we have done on the active side.
It's mutual fund, AIF or PMS? What is there?
Both. So on the AIF platform, it is hedged. We take out of money hedges. On the PMS, it is not hedged, but the portfolios are the same on the long side. So ultimately, what a manager is doing how he is thinking, what are the sources of alpha. While the manager can think he is doing it in one manner, to an outside observer, it can all be broken into 3-4 factors. Okay, and then it becomes to a play to recognize as to which factor has been working, which has not been, and that quants can do. So really, this we believe is the future. As we progress, more and more monies would be with the quant guys. So I keep joking, we have spent our lives 8-10 साल और निकल जाएंगे, but future is for quant, future is for passives. So,
Great. So coming to Shankar ji, आप बताएं सर ये quant investing को लेके आपका क्या views है?
No, so as you know, in FG we were the pioneer. We were the first actually to productize quant investing. We had worked on the model from 18, became ready to launch, and we launched in 20. And I think the numbers have been very, very good by and large. My view is this, that ultimately, like for like, as Pratik correctly pointed out, it will do in most situations better than a human managed or actively managed manager, except when वो आपके 4-5 स्टॉक वाला जो पोर्टफोलियो होता है हाईली कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड, उसका टाइम अगर आ गया नसीब से, तब तो मतलब ह्यूमन बीइंग विल बी वॉकिंग ऑन वाटर. होता है सबके फेस में. मैं तो हमेशा कहता हूं साहब कि मार्केट में तो सबके नसीब में 1-2 अच्छे स्टॉक लिखे हुए हैं. आप कुछ भी ना करो, आप जस्ट पहुंच जाओ स्टेडियम में, आपको भी चांस मिल जाएगा, आपके बल्ले से 1 छक्का लग जाएगा. और उसको हम बहुत सालों तक बात करते हैं उसके बारे में कि ये मेरी स्मार्टनेस के चलते मिला था. वो था एक्चुअली नसीब. तो वो नसीब अगर फंड मैनेजर का वो पीरियड में चल गया, उसका जो स्टाइल था वो बाजार के स्टाइल से मैच हो गया, तो ही लुक्स गुड. बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली क्या होता है विकास के, ही बिकम्स अ प्रिजनर ऑफ दैट सक्सेस. अल्टीमेटली वी बिकम प्रिजनर्स. लिटरली हम एक कैद में हो जाते हैं, जेल में घुस जाते हैं कि यार हमारा वो स्टाइल चला था, अब हमको उसी स्टाइल पे चलना है. बट बाजार को आपके स्टाइल में कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. Bazaar is literally a moving organism. It changes color, hue, texture. Every phase is different from the previous phase. Now, your one style worked for some time. You want that market to come back to that style. So it's like saying कि सौरव गांगुली जैसा बैटिंग करता था कि यार मेरे को आता है शॉट खेलना, कवर ड्राइव. अब आप लेग स्टंप पर भी बॉल दोगे तो मैं साला खेलूंगा साला कवर ड्राइव ही. आप कहीं भी बॉल दो, मेरे को आता ही एक शॉट है यार. तो आप एक शॉट वाले प्लेयर अगर बन गए, आपको बॉलर ने स्टार्ट लिया कि यार इसको तो आता है एक ही चीज है, तो वहां बॉल डालेगा ही नहीं, आप इधर उधर खेल खुल के आउट हो जाओगे. वही कहानी है फंड मैनेजर की. जो जिसका एक पीरियड आता है अच्छा करते हैं, जैसे कि इंडिया में देखा था एशियन पेंट लेके बहुत लोगों ने पैसे बना लिए थे. अब फिर उसके बाद एशियन पेंट नहीं चलता है, एचडीएफसी बैंक. So the point is, quant doesn't make you fall as a prisoner of your style. It is a very flexible style. It is relevant. It remains relevant. And my belief after 3 decades of being in this business is, I fear only one thing, not profit or loss. I only fear becoming irrelevant. That's all it is. कि यार मेरी जो सोच थी अब वो relevance नहीं है. So quant में एक ही advantage है. It keeps you very relevant to whatever is the flavor of that period. And somehow we think that it is bad to be running with the flavor, but reality साहब वही है. ये flavor का ही game है. और आप फ्लेवर के विपरीत चलोगे तो पैसे नहीं मिलेंगे. यहाँ प्रतीक को मिलेगा और मेरा जो है मेरी हॉलीडे के पैसे कम हो जाएंगे. सो लॉन्ग स्टोरी शॉर्ट, quant is a fantastic thing. The way I do it in my personal family office investing model, I'll tell you, is that I have a fairly large quant side, but equally I do the human being also. तो मैंने दोनों को एक मर्ज कर दिया है कि कई कंपनियों के साथ में मिलता हूं, इंगेज करता हूं, समझता हूं. जैसे कि क्षितिज ने कहा साइबर सिक्योरिटी, तो आई हैव एन इन्वेस्टमेंट इन साइबर सिक्योरिटी कंपनी. आई मेट देम, आई कंटिन्यू टू मीट देम. तो वो मेरा ह्यूमन बीइंग का पार्ट हो गया. बिकॉज इतना भी क्वांट को क्यों दे दे हर चीज यार. मतलब थोड़ा तो अपना भी किक होना चाहिए कि हमने भी 1-2 स्टॉक निकाले यार. तो मतलब थोड़ी अपना भी एक मतलब थ्रिल भी है, किक भी है, ईगो भी है, जो भी वो आप उसको बोलो. तो उस चीज के लिए मैं पर्सनली इन्वॉल्व होता हूँ कंपनियों के साथ में. And quant side takes care of literally एक माइंड से वो हेडेक निकल जाता है. I think the holy grail is to manage both the things so that client gets both the relevance of the quant and the huge out of the park, क्या मतलब एक आज इनिंग्स आपका जबरदस्त निकला, वो आपका ये साइड आपका टेक केयर करता है. इन माय व्यू, it's like literally like a diet. I don't say any food is bad. I only say it's about the balance. आप सब कुछ करो. आपको किसने कहा कि आप शराब ना पियो, किसने कहा कि आप मटन ना खाओ, सब कुछ खाओ साहब, बैलेंस में चलो. सेम इज इन इन्वेस्टिंग. आप बैलेंस रखो लाइफ में, बढ़िया चलेगी जिंदगी आपकी. So that's basically my take.
Okay, so gentlemen, only 7 minutes to go, and we have couple of questions. I don't know how many we can take quickly. If we can have rapid fire session with all of you very quickly, starting with Pratik ji, maybe 1 line, 2 line answers. NDA government चलेगा क्या? Over to you. 5 साल.
मेरे को बिल्कुल नहीं पता, कोई इंटरेस्ट भी नहीं है. आप ये देखो कि कोई एक गवर्नमेंट के आने की वजह से ग्रोथ कितनी ऊपर जाती है या नीचे जाती है जीडीपी की पोटेंशियल से. अगर वो नंबर मतलब कोई गधा आ जाए, 0.5% नीचे चली जाए, क्योंकि अपने में विश्वास रखो, इंडिया इज अ वेरी एस्पिरेशनल सोसाइटी, वेरी इंटेलिजेंट सोसाइटी. तो 0.5% से ज्यादा कोई इम्पैक्ट कर नहीं सकता. और एट द बॉटम ऑफ द प्रॉफिट्स, द कैश फ्लोज, 1% डिफरेंस, लाइक आई सेड, इज अ 5% चेंज इन द मार्केट. तो आप जितना चाहें उस पर मंथन कर लें. अगर आपको लगता है किसी और के आने से 2% प्रॉफिट कम हो जाएगी, तो 10% मार्केट को गिरा दीजिए. अगर आपको लगता है कि 2% बढ़ जाएगी, तो दैट इज व्हाट इट इज. And happily in the markets, on the political side, if you get the worst combination possible, hopefully Indians will have sense to change it after 5 years. तो impact उससे भी कम है.
Okay. Next question is for Shankar ji. FPIs का पैसा आएगा क्या वापस में इंडिया में?
ये तो FPI खुद नहीं मालूम, because see, people think that FPI is one entity and they have one mind. It is a very widely distributed set of people. I've dealt with them for decades. उनको फंड मैनेजर जो होता है जिससे आप बात करते हो, उसको खुद नहीं मालूम कि उसके पास उसके फंड में आएंगे कि नहीं आएंगे पैसे. बिकॉज दिस इज वेरी एपेक्स लेवल. वो पोटैटो जो उगा रहा है आयोवा में, उसकी फसल कैसी हुई, उसने कितने पैसे कहां डाले, वहां से वो धीरे धीरे चन के आता है इंडिया में. इन माई व्यू, FPIs have to remain in India overall, but there will be ebbs and flows. Right now we have seen some degree of ebbing. I mean, in my view, we get too involved in these. Frankly, this is an irrelevant data point. मैं आपको बताता हूं, अगर आप 30 साल, जब 30 साल से 94 से स्टार्ट हुआ, 30 साल हो गए, अब हार्डली मेरे को लगता है कि आउटफ्लोज वाले 5 साल हो गए टू द बेस्ट ऑफ माय मेमोरी, मतलब डिसेंट आउटफ्लो वाले. तो अगर 30 साल में 5 साल आउटफ्लो हुआ, उससे हम ना हमारे जीडीपी को फर्क पड़ा, ना मार्केट को फर्क पड़ा. Ultimately, it's an irrelevant and a noisy piece of data, and no investor, seriously speaking, should be, forget FPI, daily buy sell of mutual fund, daily buy sell of DII, daily buy sell of FPI. Please ignore this data point. It's totally irrelevant.
Next question quickly, Kshitij, is for you. Valuations justified है क्या अभी ये लेवल पे?
इंडिया आपको महंगा ही मिलेगा, what we feel, and people who are selling India right now, they will come and buy at a better, maybe little high valuation. I think you have to just see that if there is a gap, if there's a wider gap between the earning number and the valuation, then there is a problem. But I don't mind buying a company in our portfolio where we are at 35-40 ka valuation 1 year forward, and it's well supported by 25-30% earning growth also. So wherever there is a gap and there is a guidance for next 5 years कि वो 15% से ही बढ़ने वाले हैं, पर valuation आज 70-80 पे, वहाँ प्रॉब्लम है विकास कि कितने साल का डिस्काउंट करने वाले हैं. So I think we are very much comfortable, but I think the best way is go stagger irrespective of whatever market valuation you are in. That helps you in diversifying or maybe staggering your investment entry level. This is something we believe in, and this is something which is helping us.
Okay. Next question is for Shankar ji. Shankar ji, कोई 3-4 मेजर रिफॉर्म्स बताइए ना जो लेना चाहिए इंडिया को. आप ग्लोबली देखते आए हैं इतने सारे मार्केट्स.
मैं तो एक ही बता देता हूँ, लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन्स को 0 करो. सिंपल एज दैट. इसका कोई पर्पस नहीं है. मैं पूरी दुनिया में इन्वेस्ट करता हूं, कहीं भी ये टैक्स नहीं है एनी रीजनेबल मार्केट में. तो हिंदुस्तान में क्यों ऐसा भी है? फॉर व्हाट पर्पस? इफ यू वांट टू बिल्ड एन इक्विटी कल्ट इन द कंट्री, व्हिच आई सपोज इज द हेलोड ऑब्जेक्टिव, यू हैव टू इंसेंटिवाइज पीपल. और यहां मैं सुनता हूं ये बढ़ेगा. एटलीस्ट वन थिंग आई कैन टेल यू, मैं तो बहुत बुलिश हुआ इलेक्शन रिजल्ट के बाद कि मैंने इनफैक्ट ट्वीट भी किया कि कम से कम एक प्रॉब्लम ओवर हो गया है कि बॉस एलटीसीजी बढ़ता नहीं, ना ही एसटीसीजी ने एलटीसी कुछ नहीं बढ़ेगा, बिकॉज दिस गवर्नमेंट इन दिस काइंड ऑफ अ लेस देन मेजॉरिटी कैन नॉट अफोर्ड टू रॉक द मार्केट. सो वो एक बहुत बढ़िया अपसाइड हुआ बाजार के लिए कि यार ये गवर्नमेंट उतनी सॉलिडली नहीं आई जितना सोच रहे थे लोग कि कम से कम फिर ये छेड़खानी नहीं करेंगे टैक्स रेट से. मैं तो बोलता हूं इसको आप जीरो कर दो. एक ही रिफॉर्म बहुत है फ्रॉम एन इक्विटी मार्केट पर्सपेक्टिव. बाकी तो हिंदुस्तान में देखो सर, 2000 पर कैपिटा जीडीपी पे आप रिफॉर्म करते ही जाओगे, थक जाओगे, हार जाओगे, मर जाओगे, तो भी इनफ नहीं होगा. बट द लो हैंगिंग फ्रूट इज प्लीज मेक इट जीरो.
Okay, same question to Prateek.
A similar answer. I'm not top of it. There are things which have happened which are, see, जो इसमें बहुत सारी जो बहस होती है, अगर हम थोड़ा सा wholesomely देखें तो dividend for example is on tax paid money in the hands of the shareholder. It is again taxed at marginal rate. ये शायद डबल टैक्सेशन का एक बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है. दूसरा, जो भी लोग अटकलें लगाते हैं वो ये कि कन्वर्जेंस होनी चाहिए इन वेरियस एसेट क्लासेस. तो समझना ये है कि एसटीटी केवल इक्विटी में पे होती है. ऑफ द अदर एसेट क्लासेस इक्विटी इज द स्मॉलेस्ट and yet the tax collections from equity probably are the highest. Okay, जो एडवांटेजेस दूसरे में है, वहां पे इंडेक्सेशन मिलती है फॉर एग्जांपल, यहाँ पे नहीं मिलती. और अगर आपने सारी चीजें सेम कर दी तो भैया उसको बॉक्स मत करो, let it be fungible. So the loss of one asset class should be set off against somebody else, some other asset class. तो अगर आप पूरी तरह से फेयर हो कि you make equity taxation same as others, term same as others, remove STT, allow fungibility, आप खुद सोच के देखो कि किसको फायदा होगा. Government will get lesser revenues, the revenues will become less predictable, investors will lose, sentiment goes for a toss. जो आप एक equity cult बना रहे हो and the markets are now looking less at FPIs, more driven by domestic, उस पे ब्रेक लगती है. तो ये तो लूज हुआ ना. फिर जो एक बातें होती है कि हम ग्लोबल देख लें, ग्लोबल में ऐसा होता है वैसा होता है. भाई ग्लोबल हाईएस्ट वाले को क्यों देखो, कैलिफोर्निया के टैक्स रेट से बराबर होना है क्या? फ्लोरिडा देख लो, टेक्सास देख लो, and then you will find we are nicely heavily taxed. मतलब ये जो फीडबैक है वो गवर्नमेंट के पास गई है. हर लोगों ने कहा है कि भाई जो काम किया बहुत बढ़िया, बट जरा इस पे भी देख लीजिए. People say middle class tax burden. Boss, in India it is the highest earners जिनका tax burden सबसे ज्यादा है. आप कहते हो लोग इंडस्ट्री नहीं लगाते, अरे भाई नीचे कुछ बचे तब तो लगाऊं. फिर आप इंसेंटिव देते हो टू एक जिसको बोलते हैं फायर अगर बुझ गई ना तो वापस जलाने के लिए बहुत ज्यादा मेहनत करनी पड़ती है, उसको सस्टेन फ्यूल करना पड़ता है ताकि वो हो. तो ये सारी चीजें, एंड दिस इज व्हाट इज फियर्ड, कीप पॉलिसी रेट्स, पॉलिसी कांस्टेंट फॉर अ लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. मतलब हर रोज एंजाइटी क्यों हो लोगों को? लेट इट बी सेम फॉर 5-10 years and tell at the beginning कि बॉस अगले 5 साल यही है, अगले 10 साल यही है. Every time the budget comes, some joker says something and everybody gets anxious, everybody starts to debate. अरे भाई lose है, tell me where I am wrong. अगर आप फेयर हो तो lose है. So if everybody is intelligent, why should it happen? But people keep discussing.
Yeah, next question is for Shankar ji again, is maybe the last question. ये डॉलर का जो स्ट्रेंथ है वो कम होगा क्या अगले दशक?
नहीं कम हो सकता है, इम्पॉसिबल है. सिंपल बात ये है, इफ यू लुक एट द आउटफ्लो ऑफ डॉलर्स फ्रॉम डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज, और ये एक अच्छा इंडेक्स है जो आप लोग नहीं जानते हो लेकिन हम लोग ट्रैक करते हैं, वो है हवाले का रेट. किसी भी देश से बाहर अवैध रूप से पैसे ले जाने का रेट क्या होता है, ये बहुत अच्छा इंडिकेटर होता है. हम लोग ट्रैक करते हैं लेकिन हिंदुस्तान में ये सब चीज ट्रैक नहीं कर सकते आप लोग. हमारे पास सब जगह जिम्बाब्वे से पैसे बाहर भेजने में कितना लगता है, चाइना से जाने में कितना, इंडिया से कितना लगता है, जितने डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज है. और सारे के सारे रेट्स जो मैं देख रहा हूं पिछले 3-4 साल से सब अपवर्ड ट्रेजेक्टरी पे है। इसका मतलब क्या है कि वहां से पैसा निकल के पैसा कहां जाएगा आप समझिए, तो डॉलर में ही जाएगा, सबसे सेफ हेवन वही है। सो अमेरिका को कुछ नहीं करना है, हमें ही सब करना है। सारे डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज के जो धनी मानी लोग हैं अपना पैसा निकालते हैं। लीगली तो आप बहुत कम लेके जा सकते हो, इलीगली जो कैपिटल फ्लोज होते हैं वो जाता सिर्फ एक ही घर पे है, वो है डॉलर। So therefore, forget all other reasons. For that one reason alone, it is the magnet for all illicit wealth of all developing countries in the world. उसके चलते उसका नेचुरल एक स्ट्रेंथ है साहब। And people say de-dollarization हो जाएगा, मैं बोलता हूँ यार डॉलर or any currency is expressed only in terms of another currency. It has no absolute value. Correct? तो डॉलर की तरह कहाँ जाओगे? ये तो
ये सब बोल रहे हैं गोल्ड में रिजर्व, फॉरेन रिजर्व कम करो यूएस का, आपका क्या व्यू है उसमें?
सॉरी आपकी आवाज कटी थी बीच में, विकास क्या कहते हैं?
आई वाज सेइंग कि द व्यूज लोगों का ये कहना है कि फॉरेन रिजर्व डॉलर का कम करो, गोल्ड के तरफ मूव होगा इवेंचुअली।
बट डॉलर बट गोल्ड इज बेंचमार्क इन डॉलर ओनली ना सर। मतलब मैं समझा नहीं, मतलब वो उससे आपको ऐसा कौन सा अंतर हो जाने वाला है? आपने यूरो में क्या प्राइस है गोल्ड का किसी को मालूम है क्या? नहीं मालूम है। वो उसके बेंचमार्क इज डॉलर, एवरी कमोडिटी इज बेंचमार्क इन डॉलर्स। डॉलर ऊपर जाता है तो कमोडिटी घटती है, कमोडिटी ऊपर जाता है डॉलर घटता है। रिलेटिवली इट्स ऑल अ रिलेटिव ट्रेड, सीसॉ है। सो द पॉइंट आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक इज आई डोंट सी द एंड ऑफ डॉलर डोमिनेशन, नंबर वन। आई डोंट सी द एंड ऑफ ultimately the dollar strength also. There will be ebbs and flows, वो छोटा मोटा होता रहता है, but because of capital flows largely illegal from developing countries, India, China, Brazil, into the dollar, it remains naturally the best home for illicit wealth, and that is the reality whether we like it or not.
But rupee इसमें appreciate हो सकता है सर अगले दशक में against dollar?
मैंने तो नहीं देखा सर, मैंने तो आज तक देखा नहीं है, barring a small period in 2006-07 जब वो 40-42 का 39 हुआ था। बस वही मुझे तो याद है वही। मे बी प्रतीक कैन टेल मी सम मोर डेटा पॉइंट्स, बट मोटा मोटी in fact I think there is no case and there should be no reason also to make it strengthen. I don't see what is the point of this.
Okay, with that we'll like to conclude the session here. Thank you so much Prateek ji and Shankar ji for giving us your time. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone. It was a great day. And we'd like to conclude the session here. Tomorrow we'll again meet up. Thank you so much.